pull you here. Come check this out. Look at this big, beautiful girl right here. It's hard to believe last year she dropped us a big clutch of eggs, and I mean a big clutch of eggs. This year I'm super excited. I've had a lay box in here, and once again she's been very unsettled with the lay box, moving around and shuffling, and you can see all that discoloration on her head. She had vermiculite in her lay box and she just really wasn't happy. So I took the lay box out, I put in this shredded paper, and there again she still wasn't happy. So then I reverted back to the good old garbage bin lid, and woohoo! Look at that! Look at that! That is a huge amount of eggs. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is massive, massive amount of eggs right there. You've done well, Big Mama. That is unbelievable. Look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 eggs right there. 16 big whopping eggs from a black-headed python. That is huge, guys. That is absolutely huge. Here comes Mama. That is absolutely a massive amount of eggs. Now, last year she dropped a huge clutch as well. And in comparison, she's actually laid more eggs this year than she did last year, which is super exciting. And the babies from these guys can be very different. Half of the babies are going to look like Mum, and half the babies are going to look like Dad. Now, the reason why is because Dad has a genetic deformity, a colour deformity, which means he is an xanthic. So he's lacking any yellow or oranges in his coloration, which basically means all these yellows and oranges in here are gone. He's just black and white. So therefore, he's black and white. She is partially black and white. She's het for black and white, xanthic. So therefore, half the babies look like Mum and half the babies look like Dad. Now you can see she's a little bit worn out. She's drunk all her water. So the ideal thing we need to do now is get her out, take the eggs, put them in the incubator, give her some water, let her relax and enjoy herself. Hopefully she doesn't try and eat the camera guy. And as we can tell, compared to those eggs, she's definitely got nothing left in her. Because sometimes they can have retained eggs. But look at that, she's empty. And look at her little belly muscles working away there, twitching away. Isn't that cool? Twitching away. What an absolutely beautiful creature indeed, the black-headed python. Aspidites melanocephalus, which in fact refers to the colour of the head, the black melanin pigmentation. Now these guys particularly live in the deserts or dry arid areas. They can live in far north Queensland, Northern Territory and Western Australia. And the reason why they have this dark, or the reason why we think they have this dark head, is basically they live in burrows, they'll stick that head out, they'll warm that brain up very quickly, very rapidly, and then it allows them to go and hunt. Now these guys particularly don't care what type of food they eat. They'll eat mammals, birds, they'll also eat reptiles. So these guys are basically a reptile specialist. They don't really have heat sensory pits like we normally see on other pythons around the face, but what they do have under this bottom lip here, there's supposed to be a heat sensory gland just inside there that enables them to find warm-blooded prey. But like I said, these guys particularly don't care if it's warm-blooded or cold-blooded. They eat just about everything they can find. Now she's an absolutely gorgeous animal. I'm just going to let her calm down and get back in there. I'm going to get ready and take those eggs and set them up and put them in the incubator, and hopefully you're going to cook some babies. Now this is Dad. Now as you can see, he has those black and white pigmentations, and I always say black-headed pythons are a little bit on the sneaky side when it comes to biting, but you can see his intentions are pretty true here. He wants to bite, and he will have a good bite, and they definitely have this really good grab on him. But you can definitely see that beautiful black pigmentation on the head, Look how astounding that really is. It really stands out. And you can see, unlike the female, there's no yellows or orange pigmentations in the body. It's just these basically greys and blacks and whites. Absolutely gorgeous creatures. It's not a bad size for a male. They do grow up quite big. In fact, they can reach about 2.5 to 3 meters, some of these big beauties. And as you can see, that female definitely has a bit of girth about her, especially after she's laid a nice big clutch of eggs. Now that's pretty awesome. Now it's also rumoured that these particular snakes will also feed on other snakes when given the opportunity when they find them in the wild. Now you can imagine a venomous snake is usually a big problem because they have that venom for defence, but these guys don't really get particularly held up with the venom. A venomous snake will bite these guys, it doesn't really particularly worry them, but these guys will also consume and eat those venomous snakes. And you can imagine for a venomous snake, that's game over. And it's a great source of protein for these beautiful creatures right here. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show about some black-headed pythons, especially the big mama that's dropped a nice big clutch there. Make sure you help me out by hitting that like button and make sure you always subscribe. Until next time guys, thanks so much for watching CrittaCam.